Warning Canada! The following is a public service announcement, or PSA for short if you're not a moron. This month's PSA brought to you by the incredibly humble JC's Ltd. Subject, the terms and conditions, aka terms of service. You know, that big brick of legal text that you breeze past whenever you register for stuff or create an account on one of those social media services you most likely use. Of course, today we'll explain to you why it's important to make sure you read the terms and conditions before you agree to them, and that you fully understand what you're agreeing to before you do. Before we go too far, it's best to establish what terms and conditions truly are. The terms and conditions are an agreement between a user of a service and the ones providing it. For use as an example, we'll be referring to the YouTube terms of service, though I won't bore you with all 8 pages of it. Lucky you. The 4 main subsections of the terms and conditions that will be covered in this video include intellectual property rights, liability, automatic updates, and warranties. In that order specifically. Intellectual property rights. My second favorite thing to talk about, right next to my high score in Tetris. The phrase intellectual property rights just means one individual's personal property or content and their rights regarding it. In the case of YouTube, when a user, such as yourself, uploads content, they retain the rights to said content, as long as they truly own it. However, YouTube also gains certain rights over any content you may upload, including the right to distribute, make additional copies of, reproduce, parody for a purpose of advertising, and display your content worldwide with no limitations. And of course, one thing to always keep in mind when using any online service is the fact that nothing deleted is ever truly gone. Whether it was kept by the service themselves or someone who backed it up on a hard drive doesn't really matter. The point is, that stuff is still around. Don't forget that if you do choose to upload something and keep it on YouTube, it had better not break any of the rules in the YouTube community guidelines, though we're not talking about that today. Next up, liability. This part of the contract more or less states that YouTube cannot and will not be held responsible for anything that might go wrong resulting from the usage of the service. Anything from content being inaccurate, to viruses getting onto your device, to physical harm caused to you due to the service.
He's dead!
Basically, if the situation turns sour, too bad, suck it up, YouTube doesn't care.
Third on our radar are the automatic updates, another short section of this contract, the shortest out of these 4 in fact. It's exactly what it sounds like, no fancy stuff here. This subparty just lets you know that if you utilize the YouTube uploader, you are agreeing to receive some updates once in a while. Things like bug patches, new or enhanced features, newer software modules, and entirely new versions of the software. That's all. Simple, yeah? Last but certainly not least, warranties. Yay! My favorite.
No way!
All parts of the warranty subsection are identical to the liability subsection, excluding the 5th clause. The 5th clause states that YouTube does not endorse or warrant you using things from third-party sources, but firmly expresses that it is not responsible for what happens as a result whatsoever. This applies to any products, advertisements, or transactions. YouTube will also not be responsible for monitoring what goes on regarding any third-party websites or software. YouTube suggests
you should use your best judgment and exercise caution where appropriate. There, we're all finished. That covers the 4 subsections planned for this video cassette. Once again, JC's Ltd would like me to thank you, our valued consumer, for purchasing this video cassette for your business, work event, library, school, or even personal use. Please purchase next month's PSA video on or after December 1st. Present the coupon inside of the case of your current video cassette for a 30% discount.